here in it for the long run. We're here for basically for humanity to help out our fellow man. Anyone can go through tough times. This man or this man, anyone can go through tough times. And when someone hits rock bottom, some people really do have a hard time to reach out to get that helping hand. But when they actually give out that hand, wouldn't it be nice to have another hand that they can grab? Not to where there's nothing to grab. A lot of places here, yeah, they offer help, but do you really offer help? What if they have no money? What if they have no insurance? You know, what if the $10 or $15 they have that day is the food, and is their food money for the day? You know, here it doesn't matter. I got bagels, damn it. In the morning, we serve bagels. I honestly, I tell them to come in and I'll like see this man get a bagel. If we got food, like a lot of hungry individuals come to me and I'm like, bros, don't trip about it. We just got a ton of food. Go ask the man in the back for a bagel or a soup, a canned good. We'll heat up their ravioli in the microwave. Anything to get them something in their stomach. That day they didn't eat or they didn't eat that previous day. I want them to come here to be, you know, to feel safe. And a lot of people come here because of that. A lot of people, we've actually changed their kind of way of thinking on it.
Because they feel your true love. You guys are...
Not mine, the individuals here. I just point them to them, not mine.
No, because even you, the way that you're speaking about it, you can see the passion that you have in the heart that, you know, you're not there for the money. That's why I was asking, because and I think I can speak for Lance and Ray as well, because I know their hearts, but we're not looking for a get-rich type of nonprofit where let's make our money. But we're looking to be able to, we want to know our treasures up there, not here. You know, the treasures in the heavens are what we're worried about. And the people that you have here are the people that need the help. So I think that for us, or for me, but I know my bro and my sis, it's very important that we just have that same type of love for these people, you know, because if they've been on the streets, you know when you're street smart, I'm street smart, grew up in the hood, I'm sure you guys understand how that is. You read people.
I don't know about this gentleman here.
You read people and you're able to see when somebody's telling you what you want to hear or they're really speaking from the heart. And when you're in the street, you really pick that up. I don't know if that could be a gift to people where they can, you know, make sure that they're not going to be harmed. But here, when we want to show up, that's all we can do is be genuine to them, because that's what you guys are showing them already. So the way I teach our classes is I don't sugarcoat. I'm very open and sincere. I'm not looking at them like homeless. I'm not looking at them like bums. I'm looking at them like human beings that are not even broken. They just need direction. I don't think nobody's broken. I think everybody just needs to be guided and directed and found, you know, to their true purpose. And the only way through that is, I don't bring in religion, but I'm very spiritual. And to us, it's very important that they make a spiritual connection, so that way they can find their purpose as well. You know, if we can get them to make that connection through prayer, then they're going to be okay. And it's not forcing it upon them. It's basically like telling them, I'll be straight open with them. Every time that we've started our classes and we go to places, and let them know the childhood, you know, where we grew up. Because in order for you to open up to me, I think I better open up first and let you know my flaws, where I come from. That way you know that I understand, you know, what you're going through. So when Lance invited me, I thought it was a blessing. When I came in here and I saw these people that were sad and weren't looking as happy, but then I saw you guys come in here and it's like you just changed everything up, because the love, you can feel it. You guys weren't like, man, get your food. I've been to places where they get a lot of money. And you're right, it's just pushing dollars. You know, there's no real connection. So with you guys, you know, if we can all lock arms together, I mean, we want to hear more of what you guys want to do, and then we'll let you know what we can bring to the table as well.
It's funny because here's the thing. Excuse me. When they like you, they've actually defended staff here from another client, which is hilarious. I find it funny. I tell them, because we have zero tolerance on violence across the board. It doesn't matter, you know, if we have a relationship with anybody or not. But there have been a couple cases where a client will step up and check another client because they're acting up or they're disrespecting another staff member, the more you guys interact with the clients here, the more they'll open up to you guys, and they'll give you basically the same respect that they give to Aaron, I, and Mr. Saul and Pharaoh here. The more,
Very appreciated.
oh, big time. So, and like this is, I'm very happy that this is going on, because this is going to allow us to actually grow, not only as ourselves, but as your organization as well. And this is what basically, I don't know, needs to be done. It needs to be started.
Teamwork makes the dream.
Right there.
It's on
Say
my
it.
card.
You
That's
need to say
it.
something.
I was waiting for you to finish
It's like,
talking,
this is not
and I
my
was gonna
shakeout.
say,
This is my moment.
hey, that's my cool. You took that.
Just say it one more time, just to make sure we get it. Just say it one more time.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta deliver it. You gotta deliver it. So, go.
I got people that finish stuff for me.
Say it, hit it, say it.
Look, teamwork makes the dream work.
There you go. That's the salt and pepper on the stick.
No, you gotta say this. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Woo! I
My
like that.
students love, in my math class when I used to teach, they get a problem right. That's how we would celebrate. They love that.
2 claps and a what?
A Ric Flair. 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
So I work in Hilton, and so every time someone sells a package,
That's
I
what we
go,
do.
give me 2 claps and a woo, and they go, woo. 'Cause I'm a Rolex wearing,
Oh,
wheeling, stealing,
wheeling and dealing, limousine riding. I'm a son of a gun.
I guess I gotta see that movie.
Oh no, it's
It's a wrestling clip. Go on YouTube. Look up Ric Flair on YouTube. That dude.
He's woo.
Hey, real quick, not to go two sides for too long, but hey, so you know something I found out about wrestling? So back in their day, in older days, like with Ric Flair and them, they had to act like that all the time. They couldn't, like, you know how today you wrestle?
You can go do your life.
Yeah, exactly. But back in Ric Flair's time, so wherever he went, he had to, like, they all had
That
to be.
persona had to be that
They,
person.
I was like, what?
Can you imagine? He must be tired.
Yeah.
They having to act
A
like.
lot of them wasn't that. I mean, like the Hitman Hart and all that.
Yeah, like this.
Oh, wrestlers. Oh. All I know is, what was that guy?
The Rock.
Hulk
No,
Hogan.
Rock.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. I love
Yeah,
Hulk
he was
Hogan.
part of that time, so I think he had to act like that all the
Yeah,
time.
like that too.
You guys
Yeah,
remember
so-
Attila the Hun?
Yeah,
I eat
it's
raw
a-
meat. I eat it raw from the
Andre the Giant.
Okay, we're getting out of topic
Wow.
completely.
Yeah, we are. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't do that.
It's cool. I love it. I love it. I love the vibes, man.
So what hours are you guys currently doing days of the week?
We are open from Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Wednesdays are our early day, and they end at 5.
Thursday, Wednesdays or Thursdays?
Wednesdays are the early days, and they close at 5. But a staff member, if you need the room anytime, like if you need a room and you want an event promoted out for a group that you guys would like to do, a staff member would stay behind and have the facility open up for your group, no matter what it would be. Just that's how we'll give and help you guys out. The only reason we close that early is because our 2 therapists, they go to a men's group across town. But other than that, if you guys need the facility after those hours, just let us know and we can make a group happen. What kind of groups were you guys planning or thinking of trying to do?
It's open. I mean, the initial thing would be workshops. So you start to get interest from people like when we did the thing with food tea, you get some things like, oh, hey, I'm actually interested in learning about healthy stuff, rather than just saying, hey, we're doing a class, and I was like, I don't care about that. That's why you actually can ask the regulars, what do you want to learn? Obviously, when people come in, if they're a regular, you get a consistent thing. But other people come in and get feedback on what people want, what they're looking for. I mean, obviously, they want to explain to Yolanda and Bobby some of the other services that you guys provide, because they weren't here when we came first with Rochelle. So then do a background on what they do. But it's open. The first thing I would say, that's my suggestion, would be a
Yeah.
workshop. Where Father puts me, I'm always open to Bible study.
There's a lot of people here who are very religious.
But they just know the Lord. That's why I was speaking to some of them when I was here. That's why I said a lot of people mistake the poor for not knowing God. And in reality, they have much much more faith in those people because they're relying on
Yep.
them completely.
Completely, 100%.
That's
I
what
said
people
this on
don't
Facebook
realize.
and drop the mic, just drop it.
And that's actually in the Bible. It talks about that. They'll put people that have little with people that have a lot, so they can pray for the people that have a lot. They don't understand. Interesting connection that is. But yeah, and a lot of people would actually be open to that, and that might actually bring in more people, and they'll always put the people in the study that are supposed to be there. These are things you don't have to promote. That's it's kind of funny. Like certain things, obviously promote. Bible study, you'll be amazed. Like, why are these people showing up on Bible?
And
Bring out the
I-
spirits.
I wanna be able to do a workshop as well with the curriculum I told you about. We have a curriculum, that was written, I don't take credit for it, I really have to say that was divinely given. It took a year and a half to write. I'd be in my closet meditating and praying, and I just see these words come up, and I didn't pay attention to them. But after a month of seeing the same words coming in paragraphs, I started writing, and a year and a half later, Your Story Matters developed. So what it is, it's basically the first chapter, thanks to our bro, we were able to, it's gonna start with prayer, the importance of prayer and how to pray. They're just gonna write down, they had to pray or what's in their mind, they're gonna be writing down what it is and how they feel about it. But they're going to be having a certain frequency playing at the same time, because I do sound frequency. So we'll be having a certain frequency and of course the essential oils. At the same time, I'll have the essential oils on them while they're doing the
Okay.
sacred heart.
Okay.
And I'll have them around to make sure that they're gonna be stable and they won't be crying or feeling emotional. After they do that, then they find out energy, what is energy? So I teach them how to feel their energy by opening up their PowerPoints. And then we show them how, have you ever had that done to you?
I have.
You have? Have you ever had that done where they push your meridian points?
Oh yeah, my
points
sister
feel?
used to do that for me when I used to get migraine.
So whenever you guys feel that energy, for somebody that never felt their own energy before, it kind of lets them understand, okay, whatever I do will affect you. So we let them understand that. They do worksheets. We have a whole bunch of worksheets that go with each chapter.
Oh, nice, wow.
And each
this is-
worksheet has to do with them, like what are their stressors? Where do they feel the stress? So as energy practitioners, we wanna know where they're feeling the stress, because that way they say, well, I feel it in my stomach. We know we gotta make sure we check on the 5 organs and make sure that they're not holding any emotion in there. But the difference between us and other, what's called Reiki masters, because I am a Reiki master, but I'm not a practicing Reiki person. I'm bringing it back to God. I'm bringing it back to where it comes from spirit. I don't believe in symbols. I believe that the only thing that helps us is knowing to make that true connection. So I know the hand movements and the laying in of hands. I want to teach that as well, not to everybody for them to be practitioners, but they need to learn how to heal themselves.
Oh, wow.
So we want to make sure they understand the essential oils that will help them as well. I want to bring in one of my friends that's a health coach, and she's willing to teach essential oils here with them. So she gives them a circle that they're going to have to see, and they'll see what emotion is affecting them. And then we know what essential oils to leave them in little bottles. So if we have somebody has bipolar, then we know we're going to give them some frankincense. So we'll know what things to give.
You could actually break down the parts of Your Story Matters into workshops. Have a continuous thing. So
That's
why don't we,
because it was- yeah, and
I think we talked about it last time, is why don't one of the first things that we can do, we can all pick a date on that, would be art therapy, which is the painting of the rocks.
of the stones, yeah.
So people could be involved, come in.
Yeah, the art therapy would be, I think that's gonna be the icebreaker, that's how I think that's the first thing we should do, so we can then.
I think a lot of our clients would like that, the painting of the rocks.
They like the rocks. A lot of people came up like, I take a few of these. They like them.
And then what we can do is after they do that, they do the art therapy, we can have them not only paint them, but put the affirmations, we'll have each one of them put the affirmations on the stones. And that can be something that they do as a team, so we can have so many different workshops, because Your Story Matters is an 8-week course. If we make it like a course, they do get certified at the end of the course. Why is that important to us? Well, if they're certified, that means if they want to become any type of energy practitioner, like sound therapist, magnet therapist, any hypnotherapist, then we know they've been cleared. They have let go of their past. They've been able to forgive. Because We show them how to tap, we how to do tapping, the therapy of EFT, emotional freedom tapping. So there's certain places of the body that they're gonna be tapping. It's usually done with mantras. I don't use mantras, I use, positive affirmations and godly, like remembering, God is good, whatever that they have to do, or scriptures, but our goal is to bring it back to simplicity, bring it back to, taking away the mysticism that the world has put into it.
That's huge. That is huge right there.
Because it's not about, I'm special, I have these gifts, I can do this. No, we're all special. We all have these gifts, and it's not mysticism, it's spiritualism, and it's godly. So that's what we're bringing back to. So when we wear these crystals, they don't protect me. These crystals, the only reason I wear it is they're made through the same minerals that my body's made out of. So with the quartz crystal, I suffer from epilepsy, from seizures, and migraines. So this quartz crystal helps me because of the minerals. What happens is when I'm feeling sleepy or I'm not feeling very well, the minerals that my body is missing, there's certain quartz that will wear it. Let's say the amethyst. If I'm feeling nervous or anxious, and I wear the amethyst has the same minerals that's going to help my body release serotonin because I'm lacking those minerals in my body. But yet people are saying this stone's going to protect me from ugliness and it's going to protect me from nation. No, the only protection is our heavenly Father. But anything you put faith on, you got to know what faith they where with you. You wanted to say something?
I got really intrigued to what you were saying with the crystals and the minerals. I liked how you put that in.
And you know what, it's godly. I've had people tell me, no, it's not. Well, do you know that in the Bible, when King Solomon was gonna go out, and he'd get his people to go out the breastplates, they had crystals on the inside. So they'd have certain crystals, like the obsidian would be by the heart. Well, what a coincidence, it gives you courage. The rubies on the brain, well, what a coincidence, it gives you knowledge. So there's certain things that they knew what they were doing. The amethyst, there were 4 rows of it in the Bible talks about it. But see, so it is something that they were aware of it before. It's just the way that it has been pronounced now, it's been taking the glory away from God and giving it to mysticism and things, other powers that are
It's just misunderstood.
very much so. So now it's time we bring it back to the reality.
I like that. The whole crystal things.
Oh, yeah, we'll be teaching the crystals and the techniques.
We'll be teaching what they're good for and making sure.
But take the
people don't
mysticism
feel-
out of it, where it's like, oh, this is my God, I'm afraid.
So you'll see that some people like us, some people don't.
Yeah.
Because, in the Reiki world, a lot of people are not happy with the way that we're speaking about it. And we're okay with that because it's something that has to happen. And we're not here to be popular, we're just here to make sure we do what we can. And people that get turned on, because I always tell Lance and Bobby, right, I see pillars on top of people's heads. Some of them have the light that's going up, and sometimes I see like going up and down, and then there's some that don't have anything at all. And to me, I feel like we all have a switch in the back, and it's just turning it on and getting to know who that person is. And we can't turn it on if we can't forgive, if we have anger, if we have all those ugly, toxic emotions in our heart. Spirit can't flow. That's why it's important that we connect and we get to know who we really are.
Yes.
Okay, I made my pizza, now you guys talk.
No, just.
And what I'm bringing to therapy is basically a thing called T-push.
Teach classes too.
T-push.
YOLANDA.
Last name.
Medrano. MEDRA.
Hello.
Verse 6-8.
Oh my God.
Social Security?
Story matters. That's your thing. You got an 8-week program.
Hold on. I want some more pizza.
Get some more pizza.
So, yeah.
I'll grab you.
So this right here, this
Want a
is.
piece? Oh,
So you have your 8-week program. So this is my community alliance solutions and classes. So I've created 10 classes that I'll be teaching. Community. We're starting sign up for them next week. So like I think you guys have to see that
The syllabus, yeah.
the syllabus.
Oh, wait.
Arts and crafts. So yeah, so I have my classes that I teach, but I can't be the only one. I can't do anything by yourself, you know. So this is really good to hear you guys are bringing these classes. So we just need to get them organized.
Yes.
As you see, I already have an outline for them. So we just need to add your classes in as well, in a little description on what the class teaches. So that way we're able to give someone like, oh, here's a program. Here's our program. This is what we teach
And
at our
outline
center.
it. Okay.
So you
Okay.
get what I'm saying on that. So,
Yeah.
so I don't. Do you teach classes as well?
I teach many. But a lot of these things are overlapping therapies, so in regards to how it can complement, meaning if you wanna offer something like art therapy, or
Okay.
music therapy, more or
Yeah.
less, then it becomes, who's just gonna teach it this week?
Y- y-
Because there's many people that will teach the same form of therapy.
And that way, and that's how it's able to stay consistent. Because if we're having to do this every week, you could burn out. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm getting paid, you know. But that's why it's now
It's
getting.
fresh and new to them too, because if they're going to arts and crafts 101, they got a different teacher and maybe show them.
And you
That's
start
true.
But
exactly.
we're still on the same page. I mean, dancing 101, line dancing, salsa.
And the great thing about
And we
this.
Yeah.
can teach
Tell
about
me.
frequency on the dancing, so the frequency that we're putting
I
on.
wanna teach you, Mijo, about the frequencies, because if you can add certain frequencies to your hip hop music or to whatever music, we really are raising vibration with certain
That's what it's
speeds.
about, man. That's
You will
huge.
literally be raising vibration.
With your music, I didn't get to hear you.
You know, like,
Just tell me about your.
Well, I just make beats. I produce music. I'm pretty much a beginner, but they say it sounds alright.
Is that
It
what
sounds good, I like it, I heard it. It sounds good.
I feel pretty comfortable with it at this point. That's why I'm sharing it. You know.
See, that could even, that in itself could be something. You know how many, that could even be something where we have a little hip hop music thing. or
Yeah,
something
because
like that.
I've been doing it for a while, but it's just now like it's been coming out how I like it, you know. So I know how to like move around with the software. I know.
How do
it's
people
just-
respond to it? How do people respond to it?
I haven't played with
Why
that.
not?
It's only the ones that, like Adam, for example. I saw him one time in the hallway. He was on his phone. I was like, "You making beats?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, that's another cool." I was like, "What is it? That too." And I brought the laptop and I was chopping it up with him. He showed me a YouTube channel of somebody that does like. He records like different sounds, like say like paper or something.
Samples.
Yeah, he samples like live sounds from like random stuff like like that.
Yeah.
And like he makes it complete.
Oh, wow.
So he shared that YouTube channel with me.
And then they just opened up to all kinds of
Yeah.
floodgates.
But that could be a class that you teach, because we're all beginners. The Lord's an expert, we're not. So when you get together with other people, like I said, it's not a matter of I don't have this master. You never master anything. But the whole thing is you're bringing your flavor to it. So if someone else comes
that
in.
way I could like even improve myself.
And
Because,
have a team, have people that you're teaching
Yeah.
and helping out.
Because when you teach something, and they're able to understand it, or you're like learning it even more. And more.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
What I'm feeling in my heart to share with you guys is that I had told Lance about this, there was a program I wanted to start with our homeless community. And what it is basically, we have companies or small businesses, they sponsor homeless. So instead of them asking for money on the corners with signs, we go to small businesses and we ask for business cards or flyers. And we get the people from here to be able to pass it out, but in return, the company will be paying either $20, whatever it is that they're going to pay the person that's giving out the flyers or the business cards. Even us, if we have something going on here, we would be able, instead of them just standing there, they can pass out a flyer.
Well,
And once they pass out the flyer, then we have a banner where they're standing and they say, this is from, we're not asking for money, we're sponsored by, then it'll have the name of our nonprofits. And the name of the company that they're, giving the.
Yeah.
Century 21, and I'm working for Century 21, they've sponsored us through the name of our nonprofits, where now the people that are waiting in the red light, they're able to read that, they know, okay, this person's coming to me to give me something that, in order for, they no longer have to be scared of them, they're not sitting there asking for money, now we gave them a purpose. Now the person isn't feeling embarrassed, thinking,
He has responsibility.
now he has a job,
Yeah, no.
and now
It's their job.
it's helping the community, because he's helping the small businesses, the small businesses giving back, we give them a certificate for helping what they're doing, they feel good about themselves, we created a great life. And we start with
Man,
people
yeah.
here.
But
Like that.
you said that so well, so
I
succinct.
talk so fast.
Yeah. No, it was
I
great.
talk so slow.
Um, And that's another thing, like with something like that, like what my organization is doing is setting up. We need to, so we're huge
So
on
for voting.
we're huge on increasing voter registration opportunities. When my organization first started, that's what it was all about. I said we're gonna be going to the mall, register to vote. We're gonna be going to the club, register to vote. We're gonna play basketball, register to vote. So we need to increase opportunities to get registered to vote, because voter suppression is about decreasing opportunities to get registered.
So you can have a banner, a stand-up banner where
Oh,
these
and the
people are
table.
at,
That-
not even the table, because if they're in the corners, these phones are on the corners
Okay.
sometimes, so you, I'm so sorry, I just called them.
Uh-uh.
They're at the
We gonna
corners,
make
you
that
put a
cool
little
thing.
banner,
Make
yeah,
it
we
up.
need to find an acronym for
Yeah,
that.
we gonna make
We
it a
will.
cool thing.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
uplifting.
You guys like?
Beautiful, uplifting,
Okay.
beautiful, uplifting, we gotta, we'll find something.
So okay, so here's one. Here's my two shot ones. Not offensive. There's those. So big, beautiful, intellectual, tenacious, courageous, hustler. Nigga, never ignorant, giving goals accomplished.
Oh.
What else? We got?
Ghetto, giving hope, empowerment to our, what do we put, giving hope,
Giving
empowerment,
hope.
transformation to our youth.
Ooh, say it again, brother. Yeah, say it again.
Giving hope, ghetto, giving hope, empowerment, and, oh my gosh.
You gotta write that down.
Giving hope,
gotta
empowerment,
wait for it.
transformation
Oh, yeah.
to our youth.
To
Giving-
others, or to others.
To others,
To
because we're
others.
using to others.
What if one of the things is that you record stories of individuals that are here actually showing how your story matters? So if a person would be open to it, interviewing a person who's homeless and actually getting, what are some of your skill sets? What, like I said, the gentleman that we met, that
Dude,
gentleman.
if you ever, have you talked to the people here?
A lot of them.
Airplane engineers. Okay,
I gotta show you something, you just said something.
Like these people are amazing. A lot of the backgrounds that these people come from, it's just the stories that how they fell off. It's just
And I think people, I know, they need to hear these stories
Yeah.
because people have become so distracted in life that they forget that they're people.
because they're living in their own world. They don't want to
It
face
could happen
reality.
to anybody.
Yeah.
It could happen to
Yeah,
anybody.
it's funny so that you bring that up, because before the coronavirus hit, they actually were starting interviews on how legacy has helped you, and give them a chance to tell their story. And so that's something we should definitely work on and get that. I was starting silence for it on Monday. We have an interview list.
Okay.
So we're gonna start interviewing them about how has this center helped you, and when did you fall off? You know, talk about their story, bring these stories. And one of them said it really well. She said, "You're reintroducing us to society." You know, by doing these interviews. That's kind of one of the
So
things.
this is an interview I did with one of my homeless guys, we ended up having a rapping contest.
And what's up, in different feeling hearts and 22.3 takeover Vegas. We're here with a good friend that we just met right now by the name of Big Matt. Get closer so you can hear the story a little bit. You want to go ahead? How long you been over here in Vegas?
I touched down the 6th of December, and I've been here on the streets trying to make it happen.
Now let me tell you why we decided to interview you. We're passing out some stuff, and we're here to make sure that we can help and uplift whoever we can. But if those that are asking for a job, he came straight up and asked for a job. So you guys know what we do here on Human Hearts. If there's anybody that wants to be uplifted and empowered, that's what we do. So why don't you tell us what you know how to do, so those people that are looking at us can know how to hit me up if they need you.
Well, first off, I'm gonna start with
Oh, he's bringing everything out.
He's got his license.
So he is prepared. He is employable.
He got a job, and if you notice in all the messages, I just put that up because somebody sent it to me, but that was done about 4 months ago. But immediately, he started working, and he got some janitorial. But when I put it up, because he sent that to me, like, I didn't see it, so I put it up so he can see it again, so I put it up there. People started offering the job, so I figured we need to do that, because if we can interview the people here, that's what I wanted to do yesterday, but I thought it was too soon. If we could interview them and put them on our page, their page, your page, and we get them out there, then they know what all three of our organizations are doing, and we get them a chance to work. And they're able to,
Somebody that can
do
type
something else.
that's in customer service. Or anything that you need, please hit up either myself and Human Hearts or any of our directors. And please make sure you let us know so we can get quit the job and get it out there.
Yeah, the filming here would be great. In regards to people's stories, getting it out, and you'd be surprised how quickly they get offered jobs. Just being put in front of the right
And the
person.
thing is that if we can stress to the community, like when we go and we ask Century 21 or, I don't know, any law office, hey, we're trying to get your business cards because we're trying to employ homeless. We're trying to get you to employ homeless, not us, you. And we just wanna get you to go out and pass out your business cards and guess what, you just help somebody, how does that make you feel? So they're not gonna say no, and they're gonna give a donation, so this person can eat for that day. That's all they gotta do. So if they wanna do $10 a day, I mean, we can make different packages to what they can, something that it's not overbearing for them, because we know the times we live, but that's gonna make them feel good, because they just gave, they just helped. And now that person that they're helping is gonna feel like they mean something, they have a job. So, and that could be, I think, something that's gonna get a lot of attention from the people that come here, because everybody's gonna wanna do that. And that way, we just partner up with different companies and small businesses.
Mhm.
And let them know. what they
It will
want
also,
to be part of
it'll
this.
bring attention to your place. If people start saying, hey, you go to this place, they're getting you jobs. That gets out there very, very quickly. Very quickly.
Like, it's so amazing to talk with you guys because things that you articulate so well, I've been like thinking about for the longest, like different ideas. Like I had an idea of my friend, one of my family members has a car dealership and you get a $500 referral if you get someone like a $500 referral. So like the idea was get them out there in the streets. Yeah, giving them and then they go out and promote, and then whoever buys from this promotion and they have a flyer, that's $500 to a homeless person.
Well, what it can do, it can be for legacy, for the nonprofit here, where they say they work with car dealership and said, listen, we're 3 nonprofits that are trying to work with the community, and then they can make little flyers or something with the name of the nonprofits, and the person that takes it in, that way, we're aware, because how would the homeless make money? That way, we make deals with different car dealerships and different people, and say, if they're coming in from legacy, or you see that they have this flyer, then you know, hey, we have to do that.
Another good idea, I think this is that one we touched. ID, something, that was from my organization, IDs, so where you go in on Tuesday on this day, you have a rim card, or you have like a rim pass, you get this discount or free meal, something like that, coupon, so, it would obviously, we have to take us working with the businesses, but that's just something to think about.
Or even if they don't wanna pay, let's say we work with restaurants and they don't wanna give money to pass out the flyers, if they were able to say, okay, well, this person, John, is gonna be the one that's gonna be giving out your food special flyers every Tuesday, so know that when John comes in here to eat, you're gonna feed him. Know that 4 days out of the month, you're gonna feed John for going down and giving the flyers. And then they make that, John has to wear that shirt for that company for that day, and he's able to pass out those flyers. And instead of just hiring, somebody from the street, now you have a homeless person.
And then, we almost forgot another game. Keep going.
So Ms. Alon, I can go back, for your 8-week, your Story Matters, program, right? Who would do the program? Like, I know earlier we were saying that it would be beneficial if one person did it. But for your 8-week program, who would be doing the program?
Let us talk about that, because Lance's suggestion, we break it up into workshops versus just the whole 8-week curriculum. If we do it that way, I guess we would have to train ourselves.
It's flexible. By doing it into workshops, this way you're not tied to anything as stuff comes up. So this week you say, hey, guys, we're gonna do the art therapy this week. By the end of all the workshops, you've completed your Story Matters course. So the individuals that are drawn to it say, hey, because again, if a person doesn't wanna do the whole course, but they want aspects of the course, they can go through it. If someone says, hey, look, if you go through all of these, you get a certification. So then you could actually do something where, hey, this person actually completed all of these workshops equaling this course. Other people, they could just get a thing for actually coming to the workshop, but that's up to you guys. So that's why it can be spaced time-wise based on what's going on in the world.
If any of the people
So-
in here practice that or finish the certification, I will certify them, as a Reiki master that I have the certification, I will certify them as energy practitioners, and this would be a way they can make money as well, and we help them.
We got the big dick.
how many days out of the week would you be offering these workshops, or how long of a time period will the 8 week or the workshops be as a completed? And for a person that goes for workshops to try it out and would like to complete it, would you restart all over on workshops, or would you complete it till the end and then?
That's what we were
You
thinking
get
of.
those bucks.
Because see
Go
what
ahead.
happens is if they don't go, if
Wait a minute.
they don't go, go ahead.
Let me show this real quick, and I think it just solves the whole problem.
Okay, so these are Bentley bucks. So I have a $1 bill, $10 bill. Malcolm X is on the dollar bill, Harriet Tubman's on it, so Chris Powerful Icons on it. But so what I used to teach in CCSD. That's where a lot of this program that I'm teaching, I got kind of created some of it. But like the kids would get Bentley bucks for their assignments and things. And so, or even for like voter registration, like, hey, you get the person registered to vote, you do this, you get this Bentley buck. Then in return, we're working with businesses like, hey, we're making a new Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing, where if you're doing good work or helping people doing community service, you get rewarded with Bentley bucks. And then you're able to buy prizes or essential needs with that. So if you sign up for like my nonprofit program, that's one of the things benefits. And so yeah, you get Bentley bucks for learning. If you make a video of you helping someone or doing something nice, you get Bentley bucks. But it's kind of a way to reward people for being nice, for being good, and giving them something to look forward to.
And they already got sign-in sheets, and then he already has sign-in sheets for the different courses that they took. So whenever they take the course, they already signed up, so we already got a file with what courses they already signed up and did and completed. So instead of keeping track, I mean, you know, when you sign in.
It's kept track here. To answer your question, the class is about an hour and a half to 2 hours workshop. Makes sense. So each workshop per se would be an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is what the course would be anyway, offered on an 8-week program. So if you're breaking down workshops, they can also be titled. So let's say, rather than doing it as a consistent class, with any of this stuff, you could do like a music therapy workshop, an art therapy workshop, and then they can be put under different things when this is part of the Healing Hearts program. So if you complete because let's say someone's like, I want to do this, but I can't make next week. Well, due to the sign-in sheets, you know when they've attended the course. So if you have 8 workshops spread out over the course of 3 months, you know who's attended. So let's say it's bi-weekly, let's say next week it's weekly. That can be contingent on hearing. It doesn't have to be definitive. Obviously, for people, have them sign up. So it gets them used to, okay, I actually have to be here. It gets them back on a schedule. Because even people on the street, I know that, you get a schedule. You know what time you have to be up before the sun comes up. You know what time place is up. So you do get on a schedule. So it's the same thing of what's the word, Dad? Thank you, reintegrating people back into what the world views as society, but it's on different terms. So if you say, look, we're offering these workshops for you guys. So there's a limit of how many people can sign up too. That also shows a sense of urgency. It's not like, well, maybe I'll come that day, maybe I won't. It's like, no, that's why we have the sign-in sheet. So these workshops, this one takes 10, this one takes 15, this one takes 5. So then people start to say, oh, wait a minute, you guys are actually offering real stuff. And then it's serious. If something's just open, you know, people are like, well, maybe I'll, maybe I won't. If you have people that start showing up, they're like, no, this teaching's good, this is real. And then you start offering it more, because the more people that are coming, the more publicity starts to come in, the more stuff can actually be offered. If you're offering the same class 5 days a week, people aren't coming but 1 day a week, what are we doing through the 4 days?
I would actually, as I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know how you feel about this, Bill, but, the more we're talking about it, knowing the people that we have here, I would really like to separate the classes of women and men with Your Story Matters, just because the course is very emotional. They're going to be very emotional. I don't wanna overwhelm myself with having a big class, like I wouldn't want more than 50 people in the class. And that's pushing, like, my ideal would have been 10, just because.
I would never get to that point, honestly.
I don't wanna be, like, it's very important for me, especially with this course of Your Story Matters, that we have one-on-one. I wanna make sure that I have my time with these people, and we're really letting them talk, we're really letting them get everything out.
And that's what I'm saying, like, if you did it like general, and given aspects of what they were gonna get.
So
in
not do the whole
course.
class?
Not do the whole class, but have it just to where, you know, kinda like brother was saying, Lance, make it general, but bring in some aspects of what they would actually get.
I think I'm honest.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, the same way that you'd offer a class in a school, you're doing in a workshop form. Because normally in the school, they're giving you 8 straight weeks. So let's not say it's run over 8 straight weeks. Let's say it's run over the time based on, you're just breaking it down into a workshop, what you're integrating into it. She's doing it complete, she's teaching it as is. So when you're doing that, let's say, rather than saying, you have to do this 8-week workshop, it's like, no, these are the different workshops that are being offered over the course of, I'm just saying, giving you, for instance, 3 months. If a person's like, well, I went to the art therapy workshop, I want to go back, it's a Healing Hearts that's offering that, they start to get used to the teacher. Because certain people might love the subject, they don't like the teacher. Certain people don't reach we're not meant to reach everyone, we're meant to reach certain, that's why I said if 5 people are offering music therapy, that's fine. You're gonna have the people that are drawn to the instructor.
But my goal would be to first, really wanna be able to show you guys the program, because my goal is you guys will use this program, even though we have plans to be able to put this academy.
Can I get a purple crystal?
Yes,
Black one too, I like a black one.
I have one, like, actually, I was thinking of an onyx ring. Amethyst? Onyx, yeah, onyx was good.
Black Panther, so I get vibranium.
No, I wanna get you an amethyst. I wanna get you an amethyst, because you say I'm very good at articulate, well, so do you, but you're too much in your mind. You need to trust yourself a little bit more. You're an amazing young man, you just need to know that inside you. So you have all it takes, and you articulate it in everything you can, but you question yourself too. It's like, you got this.
What makes you that question?
Well, maybe question isn't the word, maybe it's, I don't wanna use the word doubt, but you kinda, as you're talking, I can see you're thinking more consistently.
You want to make sure you articulate exactly how you feel.
And because you think so much about
resonate with
it.
me a lot, because I have to work on that.
Mhm.
I mean, because I get so excited and I want to like express myself, and then I start thinking about every word that I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's, you
And
guys have
making
that.
sure that you're gonna make, that you're gonna make it come across. I don't know, maybe, does it resonate with you a little?
A little, I mean, I don't want to be misunderstood or taken for granted.
Never. See, that's what I mean, you think, but as soon as you speak, your spirit makes
presence,
people
you're
listen, your
king.
smile, the way you look at people, your interest, all of you guys
You're
have that.
king.
Maybe you're afraid to speak up.
I've never heard that. Yeah, that is something. Yeah, I'm afraid to speak up. I'm not known for that. I'm known as the guy that will say whatever it is, regardless of. Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to know each other.
Yeah. You just spoon food.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You're
I
like,
don't
all right,
be
here you
outspoken.
go.
Like, I will.
Yeah, I already know.
Use speaking a couple of times.
What do you think, Eric?
What is it?
No, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, it's a lot of information.
No. I see it there. It needs more thought into it. The only reason I say that is because you guys are breaking your 8-week program into workshops. How many workshops are you guys thinking? 8 regularly, and how you say that they can retake a workshop or sign up for that workshop? What if they retook the same workshop, say they took 2 art workshops, right? But they still completed 8 workshops. Would they still get certified even though?
The 8 workshops that, the curriculum has 8 chapters, which Lance is saying we break them up into workshops. I don't know, we're gonna talk more about that, because it has to be in sequence. I can't break it up and say like, okay, well, today we're gonna teach, tapping, and then tomorrow we're gonna teach prayer. It has to be in a specific sequence. Now, each workshop, each chapter has worksheets. So we have to go, one day I would wanna go through the workbook, and then the next day we do the worksheets. That's how I'm planning on doing it, because if we do it when it's overwhelming, because one of them is gonna be, okay, think about your past, think about everything you've been through, now you're gonna write that
Oh,
down.
I don't have very traumatic past, so
Yep.
it's good that you have small classes.
Yep, that's why we
with-
need small classes, that's why, because I don't wanna get myself overwhelmed, because feeling the energy, I don't wanna have a room full of people that are remembering this,
And can get
and then
triggered.
they get triggered with something, so we gotta be really careful on the smaller
Yes, you
group.
have
And,
psychosis
you know,
and all this.
being able to understand, there's certain things we're gonna be able to stop, you know, we'll have the diffuser going and.
SWAT, we need SWAT.
Lock the doors and.
Open them up, we kick them. But okay.
That was in conjunction for a certification course.
Yeah.
What I'm saying in regards to workshops are open.
Right,
And then you can-
I understand that they're gonna be workshops and just voluntarily. And a lot of what I see with the workshop, at the beginning, is gonna catch people's eye and then it's slowly gonna grow as people actually start to attend. And then when people actually come into attendance, I see that people are going to be wanting that certification. And then they're gonna be wanting, oh, okay, how am I gonna get the certification?
So when they're certified, you know, now what they do is because you have certified people with your store members, now they're certified to teach the class. Now
So
you
now
have
you get
influence.
more of a managerial role in there.
Cha-ching, not just playing. It's like
You
free
know,
labor,
it's-
not just playing.
Basically, it's them giving back. It's like, we give them a hand and then we teach them extremely well and it just grows.
Well, you can consider it almost like a, self-volunteership or an internship where they,
Yes.
just like they said, give them a period of time to be able to contribute. And you can log their hours, their volunteer hours to show that there is accreditation and they do have the
Yeah,
hands-on
right, that's a
experience.
good.
And you guys can vouch for them. You guys are their references to be able to support them so they can carry on from there. Because there has to be a transition. They can't, there has to be a retransition to be able to not always be here. They give the contribution, get back on their feet, and they're back in society. Because your door is going to be revolving continuously.
This is our stepping stone. We don't want, honestly, to be frank,
We don't want you.
if I see you here today, honestly, I don't wanna see you in 5 months. Because if I see you in 5 months, after all the services that I provide, a person would have been able to get back on their feet and start going back and living their life, It's kinda heartless to say, but honestly,
Gotta have a target.
of course, with what you said here, we will always keep track of the record here. I always would give them material if they need a notebook. I have a whole bunch of these. So if they ever needed to attend a workshop and they didn't have any materials, I got it right here. If they needed a pen or a pencil, I would provide it for them. The thing with it is just getting it out. And I would love for them to actually teach the classes like how you said, because the students or whoever is going to be joining those workshops or those classes, they're going to see not just the regular Joe. It's, hey, you look just like me. Wait, you just
Exactly.
came from where I came from. And look, and you're teaching this class?
And they're teaching it with happiness and love, with no resentment, because that's what we're trying to do, is we want them to see their life and accept, this really did happen to me, I acknowledge, I did live in the street, I acknowledge, I did do drugs, I acknowledge, I did, hurt my temple, my body, and then they accept, like, yeah, this was me, and now they're releasing what no longer serves them. So acknowledge, accept, and release, that's the basic step of restoring matters. And in order for them to acknowledge, it's raw, we're not wanting to sugarcoat it, because they really need to get raw and understand what they're doing. So.
I'm seeing a kid back there. I've never seen people over there. The fountain is broken. So I'm like, hey, there's kids back there. No way. But I apologize for that.
No. I thought some of you guys saw something.
No.
Yeah, kids are back there playing, yeah.
How many rooms, offices do you guys have here?
5. This
And
one
they
will be
all
our
use-
6th. Sorry?
Do you use all of them?
Yeah.
You don't have a
Like, but if need be, you need to reserve a room. It could always be accomplished. We are very flexible here. Like I said, we're very flexible. If need be, we'll reserve a room for you.
Can we seal the room? I don't think they've seen the room.
Go check it out. This is my group room. No. This is the group room. And then the donations that I receive, the stuff in the back, it's like, I give them a box to where they can store
Okay.
their
Their stuff?
very important. They hold their paperwork and their stuff here.
Okay.
Any mail that they receive from like social.
So we need more places to like things, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Shelvings and
Shelves.
lockers.
That one broke on me, and
You
I
have
had
a lot of women clothes, you need more men clothes.
yeah. Those 2 racks are filled with men. I gotta go through them and go put more on there, and I only have 1 rack of men. I got dresses. Who wants quinceanera dresses?
Oh my goodness, you ain't kidding.
I'm not.
You know what, there's another nonprofit that gives the dresses to the kids for
And like, do you know someone who needs clothing? I gotta get rid of a lot of this. Honestly, I put it up, and then I'll have people come in,
yeah,
and
I'm
then
gonna
I'll
bring you
give.
some more guys' clothes. But that maybe needs
And
more
I
shelving.
share it with other organizations as well. I just gave like a whole bucket because we put
So here's the clothes. Where do you keep your food? Just in there where we went?
yes, in the back, and whenever we have overflow, we'll take home.
Okay.
Like the frozen foods, we'll cook it up that night or that morning.
What's up to the camera? Hey, how you doing?
I'm so sorry about it here.
Well, don't say that. You know what?
CBD,
I'm glad that you
CB,
would let us come in.
CBC.
Just like we're trying to do by ourselves.
You my uncle, man. You my uncle,
Man, I love you, though.
We got a connection.
So beautiful, man. You just got everything already just. Yeah, man. You did your work.
Oh, thanks.
Blessings. You're beautiful, man. Right on.
Thank you very much.
Keep going.
It's a lot more spacious.
We're just doing a tour of our facility. I didn't want to show a messy room we had.
So this gentleman that you do this with, this is his office.
Mr. Creighton.
Mr. Creighton. I don't know Mr. Creighton.
He's the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't see him. So this is
Chris's husband, right?
You gonna record me?
Yeah.
And then up here is our lobby, and then this is our case manager room.
You want to tell him what she does for him in here?
Here she does the social services. She helps out with the SSI, SSDI, Medicaid, Medicare applications. We help them with updating, editing, or creating new resumes for their job applications. Creating.
stones there?
Yeah.
No.
Got the stones.
Yes.
She likes. Yeah, she liked them very much.
Good. I'm glad. How was her knee? I left her a magnet. Did she leave the magnet here by any chance?
I don't know if she has it or if she left it.
That's okay. I'm coming back again. It's just I hope it helped her.
But yeah, and then this is our lobby. I actually moved it the first time that you guys were here. You guys probably saw it like this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to move it.
You didn't
Give
so
him more
much.
room.
No, it was just I just didn't agree with it. The first person that had it like that, but that person's not here no more. So.
So now you can look.
Here's one of my
And it's
posters.
more spacious. I've heard it is more spacious.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it's supposed to be. Actually, we didn't take it.
And we're gonna grow as we're gonna grow like wildfire.
You need to put those
We got to, like I said, one of the visions. So we'll have a table, and we go to all the social services because we're having a social services
Yeah,
movement.
gonna prevent this.
So at all this, like we're gonna go to the LGBT center, set up a table there, get registration to vote, and so we're looking for volunteers for that, so that volunteers can go to these centers and get homeless people registered to vote.
Ah, I like it.
Yesterday, they were like, "Are you open?" He was like, "Nah, bros, I'm not open today. I'm sorry." But he's just hanging around till we open.
That's
Like,
cool. At least he's, you know.
Quién, yo?
but
Vamos a hablar español. We come some people to hit the Spanish community.
Oh, we need bilingual to speak.
This is gonna be great. I like how we met. Miss Crowther brought this together, so I have to actually thank her. The lady that I told you about, Angie. She is the person that made this happen.
Really?
And I want you to meet. Yes.
Okay.
So
Who's Angie?
Angie's how,
Rochelle.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Angie, 'cause she also works with Real Talk.
Yes, and that's another organization we're going to team up with. They're basically wanting to do what you guys are doing, except they're having like lawyers, having people of profession to teach their workshops and letting people know about their profession and basically.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Wow.
That's which I like what you were trying to with your classes, the math, the
Yeah, yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
In their organization, they want to teach and let people know about professions.
They do it-
Okay. Oh, that's a good one.
Real Talk's a program like Scared Straight. But
Okay.
comprehensive.
Uh-huh.
The first part of the program is putting kids that are at risk with their parents, and they have former felons that gave their life to Christ come in and actually share their testimony.
Okay.
Rather than a kid having to completely mess up, he's like, listen, you don't want this life.
Yeah.
They have felons, former felons from all different walks of life, whether it was drug charges, murder, come in and actually share their testimony with the kids. It's a 3-month program. It's called One Change Meetings. We used to have it at Pearson Center. And so the speakers would come in, half the speakers go with the parents, the other half go with the kids.
Okay.
After the parents and kids are brought together, they have a general speaker.
Okay.
You know, tells about how you can make it and all this.
Yeah.
The kids keep their GPA up, respectful of their parents, and write a letter thanking Real Talk. They will pay for their activities up to $150 a month. So a lot
What?
of kids that were getting into trouble because they didn't have access to activities,
Uh-huh.
they will pay for it.
Oh.
So all this money, thanks to the Lord, has been given to her.
Uh-huh.
Stuff comes in, and that's how they're able to fund the program. The newest part was the mentoring program, where they actually through Zoom have professionals from all walks of life do Zoom things. Because you know when we're like, hey, I want to do this with my life, then you do it, you're like, I hate this. What am I
Yeah.
thinking?
Yeah.
To kind of mitigate that, have a professional come in and say, this is what you can expect.
Yeah.
And the kids actually go through a 4 to 6 week course online. Not for credit, but they're actually like, I hate this course, I don't want to do it, or I
Yeah.
want to do this course now. I can start doing stuff now. That was the purpose. Of
Yeah.
directed at kids, but it can be also geared to adults.
No.
Think
No.
of a person starting over. Have someone like, where do I start? I don't know what to do. Well, here,
Yeah.
talk to this paramedic.
Okay.
They'll give you an idea of what you can actually,
Yeah.
do. The same things you wish you would have known when you were younger.
Yeah, well, and then the best thing for that too, another good remedy for that helps with our center, volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to be a nurse when I got out of the hospital. So then I got a job at a senior center to make sure that I actually can stomach this or like it. A lot of people go through life thinking I'm gonna be so happy when I become this. Not realizing they never even tried it to see if they like it. And now it's been 10 years you invested in this. It's a little too late for you to
Turn it back now.
yeah, so then now you feel like you're trapped on this hamster wheel. You know, so volunteering, I'm really big on that. Volunteering helps a lot.
Checking things out.
Yeah, like, and you meet new people, and that job, and with volunteering, that could even turn into a job where they give you like a position, like so.
Mentorship.
Yeah, and you're meeting people, like, so volunteering's got to we got to make volunteering like popular, because it's helping your community, but it's also helping yourself too.
Make it fun, you gotta do it something where.
Make it fun and cool. Have shirts. Create a sense of community. We're going here today. So here's these dope Rim and Legacy Counseling shirts. We might get you. Okay, we get you a shirt too, and like you have the shirts, and so that way, that's also.
The same in your logo, so I can put it on the website.
Yeah. I'll give you the logo later.
I'll put it on.
Yeah. Do you guys have a logo?
on
Oh wait, we gotta get linked together on Facebook and our
We
site.
do, we gotta link them together. We're already linked up with
Cultural arts training. Yeah, both of you guys' logos are on our site.
I gotta get yours. I sent you mine. Where's mine?
Yeah, you guys are my logo.
Emailed it to you. In the original email that I sent, and you're like, I never got that email. I work fast.
Lance is on.
I gotta see
Lance,
it.
yeah,
I gotta
Lance
see
is
it.
on.
I'll go look. I'll look.
Let me
right
tell
I'll
now.
you.
resend it. I'll resend it. That's not a problem.
Let me
I'll
tell
resend
you,
it.
this guy, he's thorough.
Gmail, right? The one that I sent.
Yahoo.
Okay.
We go to Lance_Parvin at yahoo.com.
Oh no, mine. Mine's the Gmail.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I